So again, my name is Gordon Jones. Who am I? Yes, I'm on the tag board, but I'm also a doctor of health administration. And I hate with a passion administration. So I did my residency in the hospital, and then I never stepped my foot back in, except for a trip to China last week, which I won't go into. But anyway, I am an entrepreneur. I started up a company called Guardian Watch, and one of the reasons why I am so enthused about what we're doing here is because now we're starting to build the resources and find the resources that are already here that technology startups can access here in Augusta, because my first year of my startup, which was in the early part of 2011, I had to go to Atlanta to find my development and marketing and all that resources, specifically for my niche of mobile technology and public safety and personal security. So, but I wanted to do it here in Augusta because this is where I live and this is where I'm raising my family. So I really appreciate you all being here. I think we're at the cusp of building a really cool ecosystem here, of which not just technology startups, but other entrepreneurs can come in and figure out ways to build a company, employ people, and build our community here. So I'm the chair of the investment committee of the TAG chapter of the Augusta chapter of TAG, and our responsibility in the investment committee is to try to figure out a way to build a culture of angel investors to invest in the startups that we want to build in here in Augusta. So one of the things that I was exposed to in Atlanta when I was doing all my jaunting over there was a guy by the name of Sig Mosely, who's known well by the community there, the angel and venture capital community, the technology community, because he has helped to fund many of the companies there over the last 30 years that he's been in the business. And so we invited him here today and his partner, Wei Chun Tai, and they are going to speak a little bit about what their experiences have been. And okay, she's not going to speak. But Sig's going to talk about his experiences, things that he sees that we can do here to help foster the culture that we want to build here, and then maybe some ideas about how you can either start up your company, get your company funded, how to pitch. He's going to do a good job in helping us understand some of the things that we probably haven't heard in the community here in the past. So, Sig, please come on up.
Well, you might wonder why I'm here in Augusta and not back in Atlanta, where I've been working for the last 25 years. We need to build throughout the state of Georgia the technology community. Not only in Atlanta, we need it in Savannah, we need it in Augusta, we need it in Columbus, we need it in Rome, we need it in Gainesville. Because the more clusters of technology communities that we have in Georgia, the better this lake will be able to do. And we are a technology hotbed. Now, some people might argue that we are not the Silicon Valley, we're not the Route 128 in Boston. And I'll tell you that it's a good thing that we aren't either one of those. But we don't have the resources that they do. We don't necessarily have the same kind of talent that they do. But we have our own way of doing things here, and that is what we need to capitalize on. We need to capitalize on the entrepreneurs that we have. We need to capitalize on the talent that we have. We need to capitalize on the clusters where we are very good. Now you take Atlanta. Atlanta is very good in internet security, healthcare, IT, and financial services. In fact, most people will tell you that we are one of the most recognized centers in all three of those. Now, the people from Nashville will tell you that healthcare IT should be in Nashville. Now, here, y'all might say that here, but Atlanta will continue to brag about it as long as we can get away with it. So why did I get into the business? I got into the business back in 1990. I had a company that I worked for called MSA. It was a mainframe software company. And back in those days that we ran on the big 370, 370, we had data centers that were twice the size of zero, that we had to run all of that on. And so we sold that company to Dun & Bradstreet. Well, Dun & Bradstreet needed a secretary treasurer in Atlanta, but they needed a hole in the head. So my job just kind of went away. So I went to work for the chairman of the company, managing his money. Now that involved a number of things. I was managing his public money. I was taking care of his family bills. We had the family foundation that we were managing to give back to the community. But he wanted to do one more thing. He wanted to give back to the entrepreneurial community, because the entrepreneurial community had been very good to MSA. We had over 1,200 employees in Atlanta at one time. We had gotten great talent out of Georgia Tech, out of Georgia, a little bit out of Emory, and I came from Emory, so I can take that in. So he wanted to give back, so we started doing angel investing before it was even called angel investing. We went out and invested in young companies that needed help. We thought that had a good business plan, had a good entrepreneur. One of the first companies we invested in was one called Audio Flax. Probably nobody had heard of it. But the chief financial officer was a gentleman by the name of Charles Brewer. And Charles went on to find Mindstream that eventually became Earthly. So you just never know where you're going to meet and run into young people who got talent beyond everything. We did, over the next 22 years, we did 120 deals. 70 of those we have gotten out of. We had a valid and decent return on those 70, and on the others, we'll wait and see what happened to those. But in part of it, we also had to help develop the angel community in Atlanta, because one person cannot keep doing it all by themselves. So back in 1995, I believe it was, the Atlanta Technology Angels were founded. That was a group of about 25 or 30 angels at the time. We came together to work and look at deals together to make it easier to invest in deals. The Atlanta Technology Angels today are probably about 125 people in that group. They have funded quite a number of companies, and in the past year they have probably funded 11 companies. So that has worked out real well. What do entrepreneurs need to know? I can tell you one thing you need to know. If you're going to become an entrepreneur, do it in something that you know. Don't try to become an entrepreneur in healthcare if you are an IT guy or something, You've got to do it in where you know something and where you have a passion for it. You really need to have that passion. Now, when you figure out what you want to do, next you need to look at the market. Are there a market there? I can't tell you for sure. You need to tell me. When you come talk to me about wanting money, you need to convince me there are a market out there. And if they aren't, then why are you doing it? And the one thing I tell all my entrepreneurs, don't ever come to me and tell me you have no competitors. Right there tells me you know nothing about your marketplace. And there are two kinds of competitors. They are competitors today, and they are competitors tomorrow. Who is your competitor tomorrow? Google, Microsoft, Facebook. Who knows who they might be? But you have to think about those as you begin to put them together. And, in today's world, we have gone a long way, because when I began 25 years ago, people would put together a 30 or 40-page business plan and send it in. And, I never got back more than probably a couple of pages into it anyway. I could tell where I liked it or not. But today, with the concept of accelerators and incubators, more so the accelerators, what you have here is an incubator that could turn easily into an accelerator. The accelerator program have moved toward what they call a business launch model canvas that you can use to work out your business. Then you put together a good PowerPoint presentation and the 2 pages to summary, and that is all you really need. Everybody tells you you got to put numbers into your business plan. Yeah, you got to put numbers in. Why? I have yet to figure out, but I don't believe any of them. And don't dare say they were conservative. That is the worst thing you can do to having no competitor. No number is conservative. Because one, you don't know what a conservative number is. I probably don't know what a conservative number is. So don't do that. So, but you got to really think through your business model. The model is what is important. Because if you are trying to do a business where people are used to paying by the month, and you want to charge them by the year or for a lifetime, that just doesn't work. You don't want to have to do that. And you don't really want to have to create a new market if you can help it. Because you want to find a market where it's much easier to find a market that got a little competition in it. Because somebody has proven they are a market. But you don't want to get one that got too much competition, because that may mean you're over the hill. So all of those things have to weigh together. And the other thing you have to think about is, as I look at you as an entrepreneur, is where do you have the passion? Do you have the drive? Do you have the desire? But also, what kind of people can you hire around you? You know, if you bring in somebody that is less, hard to say, less than what you are, that give a bad impression on you. I have one company that I was talking to you about investing, and the CEO brought in a VP of sales. I knew in 1 minute of talking to the VP of sales that was the wrong guy. It was obvious. I should have walked away from that deal and not invested in it. But I am now in that deal for about 8 or 9 years. The 2 VCs that came into the deal have now walked away from the deal, and I'm well with the deal. And, you know, I'm still trying to help the entrepreneur figure out how he can make a little money out of it. But so far, we haven't had very good luck at that. But those are just on the transition you got to work. You also got to be willing to pivot. I had a company that before I invested in them, I went down, I met with them. I liked the entrepreneur, I liked the team, I liked the technology that they developed, but I hated the market that they were applying it to. So they were applying it to a market that had about 2% margin. And I was trying to figure out how in the world are we really going to make money at that? Well, we aren't. So I convinced them before I put money in that they needed to change their market. Because what they had a great piece of technology. And that piece of technology could be licensed to other people to develop other applications. And I finally convinced them to do that. And that company, we actually wound up selling for over $5 billion. And we did that in 4 years. So, you know, miracles do happen at times. And some things are miracles. You know, luck can be good at being good. So don't ever forget about that. Also, as entrepreneurs, do your homework on your investors. You need to know us as well as we need to know you. Because you want to be sure that the investors you're getting will work with you, that they just won't walk away or dump you at the first sign of trouble. So that is a very, very important thing. I use a little line that people don't necessarily like it. Taking my money is worse than getting married. At least when you get married, you can go through a divorce and get rid of your partner. When you got me and my money, you can't get rid of it. So you might well be prepared to hang on to me. So where you like me or not, then where I like you or not. But the other thing to be aware of, I need to do enough due diligence on you. I need to do it not only on your behavior at work, but your behavior outside of work. I had a friend of mine tell me about the last interview he did with my former company, MSA. He was being hired as a sales associate and the regional sales manager. He had been through like 7 interviews. And we used to be very good at interviewing people to death. Because we figured if we interviewed on enough, something would break along the way. Well, there was the guy last interview, so they went to a bar. And the whole idea was the regional VP wanted to see how well the guy could hold the liquor. He held it better than the regional VP did. So naturally, he got hurt. So, but those are the kind of things you do have to know people on the outside, because outside behavior can impact inside behavior. And so that is what you should think about in doing that. And you know, where you take angel money, where not you take VC money, where not you take SBIR money, you have to look at all kind of resources. And when I say SBIR, I mean any type of grants. We have a group here in Georgia called the Georgia Research Alliance that can give grant to certain kind of companies that come out of the universities. You have SBIR that can be funded by the National Science Foundation, that can be funded by the National Health Institute, can be funded by another. What you don't want to do when you take grants, you don't want to take grant money that is not helping you move your product toward commercialization. Because you can become nothing but a grant-rotten company, and you'll never build up any value. So those are the kind of things you have to think about when you're building a business. And where you're doing it in technology or non-technology, it really doesn't matter. Everything is about the same as far as how you should go about doing it. I happen to invest in technology, and I happen to invest in products. I don't like services, because I have trouble figuring out how you can take services and make it a scalable business. Products I can do. I have a good friend in Atlanta. He won't do anything but invest in services, because he knows the service business, he knows how to make it work, and I don't. So he and I get along just fine because we don't do deals together. I'm actually going to wait for him to come up and tell about her experience. When she is a two-time entrepreneur, and her second time is one where I got